All right, bounce around a little bit. We're live on YouTube, boys and girls. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Just be glad you can't smell it.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Smell-o-vision.
If there's anything you should be happy about, it's that you cannot, under any circumstances, smell this disgusting ass pellet.
There was no pellet to it.
That smells like a presidential debate right there.
It's holding me back from doing good things.
There's been a lot more
What
than
the
that
hell?
that's held you back.
What the? Microphone smells like dick. It's wrong.
Not my fault.
Whatever. All right, we're gonna go live here. So everybody say your piece before you got to say your piece. Oh damn, freaking hat ain't fitting. I think my head got bigger over the night.
Yeah, I was at that interlude with Hillary.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I was gonna play the national anthem, and I don't even see where it is. Which means Scotty probably switched it out on me. He does that to me just to keep me jumping. So screw it. Let's. What do you guys say? We go live in about 20 seconds.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody? Everybody good? Everybody happy? You got to pee? I don't care. You know, I'm going to need a beer like now. Not right now, but in a almost now.
Like now. Then
Like-
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Now that you're comfortable, he needs a beer.
Now. Ready? Let's go live. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not adjust your, what would it be? Your app? Don't adjust your app.
Don't adjust your attitude.
Yeah. Don't adjust your app. It's the world, according to Mike. It's Monday night. It's October 10th, 2016. Apparently not really the year of our Lord, because if you take back daylight savings time and where the stars were when Jesus was actually born, it was more like April. So this is the world according to Mike with Military Mike. Of course, my lovely and Lysol spraying, co-hosting, variable speed vibrator.
This was not my fault.
Yeah, really, finally. So how are you?
Finally.
You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm back on my meds. We're recovering.
That was a sticky trickler that week.
Oh, boy. I'm telling you. Even the dogs refuse to come in the house.
Yeah. Well, I got turned down by an info this week. So let's move on to Captain Pat. How are you?
Skip right over that little train wreck.
Captain Pat, sir. No. Okay. Now, next. Do you know how are you? Our resident millennium? Or would that be?
Because I'm on this side of the room.
Yeah. You're next to the
He's dying.
Yeah. I was going to say latrine, but la dead is more like it. And then, boy, I feel bad. We have a guest this evening that will never be back. We have Evan Summers here this evening. He's going to be talking about. Your business, I want to make sure now I say this correct. It's Summers Wellness. And you'll be talking about essential oils. Or
Yep.
See, I brought it up this morning on the morning show with DJ Scotty and, me. There wasn't much fun about that crew. And he had said, oh, it's alternative medicines. And I said, well, let's make sure.
Right.
So that's one of the big questions I was going to ask you tonight. But hey, take a minute, talk about yourself, talk about what you do and all, and then we'll go back around the table.
All right. I don't know if I'm, lucky or unlucky that I've known Mike for a few years.
That's debatable.
I know it is.
One of us always had bail money.
Well,
And that was important.
Yes.
And the people that we did work for at that time were blithering idiots, and quite frankly, we're better off not being
I'm just
around
saying
them.
bail money is always an unequivocal best
and they
friend.
still are blithering idiots.
Yeah,
but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how the blithering idiots just keep on coming?
We just consider ourselves elevated.
Okay, I was going to say heavier, but go ahead.
So after 35 years in retail management, I finally got fed up after being introduced to a better lifestyle. And quite honestly, was sick, tired, lethargic every single day, and changing lifestyle, diet, being introduced to essential oils and using them consistently has completely altered my life.
Oh, that's cool.
And as somebody who is inherently unbelievably skeptical, I went from basically skeptic to preacher in regards to natural health and lifestyle changes. It's based on what it's done for me and my family and what I've been able to do to help others in lifestyle changes. So I'm thrilled that you asked me to come on down. One of the things that I always try to do is see what I can do to help others feel better and kind of break free of the sick and tired of being sick and tired feeling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of the big reasons I thought we might have I don't want to say a potential match because it sounds like we're dating. But what I was really going for was more like all the veterans that Variable Speed and I are, I constantly talk about if I could only vape cannabis oil.
Right.
And get away from some of the gabapentin. And I know you and I have talked over the last probably year about, hey, I got to get you on this or I got to try this and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a good idea instead of you just oiling me up.
Oh yeah.
By ourselves. I figured I'd bring it on the show.
Break out the strobe light. Let's get Mike oiled up.
Now don't say that because I'm sure somewhere in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, there's more than likely a strobe light or at least a disco ball. But from what I understand, and I can honestly say this being somebody who's heavily medicated, it gets old. My body is building up a tolerance.
Right.
Over the last 5-6 years. I can start to feel a tolerance being built up. I'm taking more and more and more, which is not any fun for the people that have to be around me on a regular basis. So I don't know how many vets you think we know these days. They're Variable Speed.
I've got over 2,500 on
with
one
the
page.
Foxhole. That's the Foxhole Sport Network group that she is in control of, and quite frankly, there's so many other veteran groups that I'm not really associated with, but I'm in. So, and they periodically they'll pop their heads in to the show, just see what's going on. So I thought it'd be a good idea to push it out there. I'm actually doing a little promotion right now with internet radio stations on Facebook, which is a couple 100,000 people. And
I have found that the more medications that I'm on, the more side effects that I have discovered. There's been medications where I've had incessant yawning. And at the time, the drug, it made me happy.
Yep.
Does that have to do with lack of sex or
lack of oxygen to the brain? I'm assuming.
That's what I'm saying.
So I've got this big, huge Permagrin, and I'm constantly yawning. And at the time, I was going to job interview, so I looked a lot like the Joker. Going
yes.
And needless to say, I did not get hired anywhere. So people are like,
and the worst part of it is it's like, I'm gonna kill you for crapping in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the Joker grin for a long time.
Not sure that the whole.
And now I'm finding that I'm allergic to more and more medications. So I really am interested in looking for a more holistic route. I mean, like pot would be awesome, but they're not going to give that to me. So.
Is it holistic?
Holistic, yes.
Okay.
The definition of holistic is a one-to-one relationship.
Okay.
So you can actually have a holistic relationship with a doctor. However, the common use of holistic tends to be towards the alternative medicine practitioner side.
More natural.
Right. So people don't necessarily consider a holistic relationship with a doctor as in a traditional doctor sense in modern medicine, because that word holistic tend more towards natural methods.
Right.
Yeah, and it does have that connotation.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Because you're talking about whole body. And
right.
When we talk about holistic practices, we talk about an intertwining of being able to get the mind, the body, and the soul all working together. And, you mentioned having all the issues with side effects.
Sure.
Our bodies are not really designed to handle synthetics, especially in the kind of quantity that we flood them with.
Right.
Our homes have become a highly toxic environment. It used to be our workplace was the most toxic environment we have. That's changed. People don't spend as much time outdoors anymore. They're trapped in their homes. They're using toxic cleaners. There's toxic chemicals that leach from our furniture, our carpets, and all of that. So all of that toxic overload is adding to the synthetic buildup in your system. And then when you start adding all these medications to it, you're blocking cellular receptors. So your cells aren't getting the true benefit of the medications that you're taking. That's what's causing you to have to take more and more and you're building up that tolerance that makes it harder and harder for you to get the benefit that you originally prescribed for.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does. I just can't understand why more people aren't doing it.
There's no money in plants. Not for
except for marijuana.
Not for nothing,
That's right.
but in all honesty, modern medicine,
Big Pharma hasn't gotten a hold of the money part of this
they
yet.
can't, because you can't patent a plant. See, they can patent the synthetic drugs that they manufacture. The drugs that they manufacture are based on the chemical constituents of plant-based medicine.
Basically, the recipe.
Right.
Yeah, so then all they have to do is tweak it. They can then patent that formulation. They can put that formulation out, and it costs pennies on the dollar for them to manufacture something in a lab and mass create it, instead of waiting 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years for natural plants to be planted, cultivated, harvested, and then distilled for essential oils.
Right.
That kind of time exposure will take away from corporate profit.
See, I remember the days when my grandmother used to be able to go outside and, come up with some sort of fast food recipe.
Concoction.
Fast food recipe.
Concoction.
Basically from the backyard. Go, here, chew on this plant. It'll make your tooth feel better. Here, rub some of this on your foot, or, it back then they did what they had to do with what was natural.
Right.
Well, isn't it a fair shake on the reason why they did that was, one, they didn't trust Big Pharma, and two, a lot of them didn't have the money.
True.
I mean, because, dang, when you're only making $7 a week, you can't spend $2 on medication.
Well, and part of it, though, comes from the time. If you look at the timeline, natural healing has been passed down for thousands of years. Generation to generation has passed down natural healing methods. Big Pharma has really only been in existence since the 1920s.
Yep.
And that as they started to build up they realized it was profit after polio. And that's when they started to push out medications to the public, and they started to fund.
They realized vaccination is a profitable market.
Exactly.
Create
Before that, the doctors were really all behind helping people as opposed to their pocket.
Right.
We've had just about enough of that.
And then as we started moving into the 40s, the 50s, we get into the post-war era. Doctors coming out of the war had a lot more work to do because they were taking care of people. And that's where you had that trust factor that was really embedded in our grandparents' generation. There was an incredible trust in the family doctor. You saw that same doctor.
Yeah, they would come to your house.
Right.
They came over for dinner.
Well, I'll give you an example. There is my father built my doctor's home next door, and all three, myself and my two older brothers, were all born in the same hospital. And guess who the doctor was?
Your neighbor.
My neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your neighbor?
Yep.
Mr. Rogers.
Who's your pal?
So
Your Wiggles.
you don't have that anymore. You don't have that relationship. You don't have relationship medicine. You're a revolving door with a prescription pad.
I actually, when we go into our doctor's office, the first time I met the last doctor I had, I liked him.
The first time you met the last doctor you had?
I
hate
follow
when you
that.
talk
Another-
like
no,
this.
okay, yeah. Well, there's been another one since. We
Frickin'
got along
vets.
okay. He listened to what I had to say, understood what I was telling him. The next time I went in, it's like he didn't even remember who the hell I was, because
yeah.
I was telling him, and he told me, we're going to change you back to this medication. I said, wait, no, we're not, because I told you that medication doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I know you want to save me money and get me the generic brand, but it doesn't work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but see, you're like still going to a civilian doctor. I mean, you got deadbeats out there like me still going to the VA,
that's even worse.
which I think I might have told you guys at one point what had happened was my shrink was going, she was talking about thinking her notes were about Afghanistan, but they were about Somalia. See what I'm saying? And she's
Yeah.
like, she just had them completely screwed up. And then when I brought it up, you know what she said? Oh, don't worry about it. Well, what the hell you mean? Don't worry about it.
It doesn't really matter. They're just my notes.
Well,
It doesn't matter if I'm wrong.
On the doctor front, I'm going to give you, well, to your point in talking to your doctor and making sure you've got the right doctor. I just relocated my mother here from California in July. And one of the things that we've been working with her on is this exact protocol. She's 78 years old. She's been on 3 blood pressure medications. She can't, my father passed away in her bed while she was sleeping in the middle of the night. She relives that every day. So she's got extraordinary anxiety, sleep issues. When we went to get her a doctor here locally, we interviewed doctors and went from appointment to appointment. Before I even scheduled an appointment, we called to make sure that they would at least have an acknowledgement and an understanding of a holistic lifestyle. We
Right.
use food as medicine. We use essential oils. I get her up and get her exercising. We shop at farmers markets just to change lifestyle. We found 2 doctors that were in that protocol that we were accepting of. The first one we went to was great. The second one, when she said, I'm on 3 blood pressure medications and I don't know why, she wanted to write her a prescription for a 4th. So needless to say, the
Makes
first,
perfect sense.
yeah, I know it makes no sense to me either. Now we went back to the first doctor and we talked to him on a follow-up. She hasn't been taking one of her blood pressure pills for like 2 months because she was having a negative reaction. The doctor looked at her and looked at her numbers and said, oh, if these are your numbers without that pill,
Don't take it.
don't take it. I'm good with you skipping it. So we've gotten her off of that, and I've gotten her off of Oxy pain medication.
Yeah,
the-
that's tough.
Since July of her being here, we've gotten her completely off of Oxy, and we've gotten her off of 1 blood pressure pill.
That's awesome.
Now, oh, I forgot to mention too, medical.
Okay.
So they, you know, where I'm going to ask you the dumb question, like why does the oil have that color? They're probably going to be able to ask you actual questions.
And that's fine. And I'm going to preface it by saying that, you know, this entire industry is not regulated by the FDA. So when I
Everything
speak,
good isn't.
exactly. And so when I speak, I will tend to keep things in more generic terms. I
Right.
don't like to, I don't determine what somebody's specific conditions are because I'm not qualified or trained to do so.
No, but looking at basically the back of your sheet, which is more like a takeout menu, you can look and see the name of the medication, the name of the oil, and the list of things that it will do.
That it will support. Absolutely.
You know your body better than anyone else. So all you do is look down and say, okay, well, I like lavender. What does that do? Oh, okay. So I can
It
apply it
helps.
topically.
It helps you
Undiluted.
sleep.
Mhm.
It makes me sleep. It smells great. You know,
Well, right now nothing smells great. Thank you,
I can
Captain
fix. I can
Pat.
fix that.
Captain
my
Pat,
hand smells amazing.
yeah, Captain Pat broke the cardinal rule here in the studio.
And what is that?
Within moments of going live on the air, somebody
what?
decides massive dumpage.
If I'd have had toilet paper, it would have been over sooner.
You
But
fanned the door.
you left me to stew.
Fan
And
the
I
door.
warned you, no toilet paper. I'm fanning the door. So I warned you. I gave.
Did
you
anybody
clear
else catch that
cut
warning? I didn't
Yes.
catch that warning.
I did.
Oh, you're gonna back it.
I did get the warning.
I didn't.
got-
You know why? Because it smells so bad. I can't even hear.
I can't believe he's going to back him, and he's the one sitting closest to the bathroom
Yeah.
door.
I hope he goes again. How about that, Dino?
So-
So, can you? Do you have an oil that'll make a 13-year-old like girls?
I
already
think
do.
that automatically happens.
Well, automatically.
I would
in
imagine
your world, maybe.
You would probably ask for an oil that would
I do
stop a 13-year-old from
I
liking.
do not see vagina scent on here, so I'm gonna go with probably no.
Go with fish.
That's my boy.
There you
3
go.
jokes this week.
There you
It's
go.
just Monday.
He's spot on.
But,
there.
Yeah, no, that's under deep soothing blend.
Yeah, and I wouldn't if it smells like fish, son.
There's
Well,
there's something unhealthy there.
yeah.
Oh
Trust
no,
me.
no, wait,
It's either
there's
unclean or just.
Oh,
There's
here
no-
we go.
there's
No, I prefer not to talk about this.
there's Melissa.
Which is also known as lemon balm, and is one of the most adulterated and one of the most faked oils on the market because of its expense.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, I was gonna
What is
make
Mel-
refer to
talking
one of
about
our
Melissa?
friends named Melissa.
Well, you
so
can do that too.
I'm glad you jumped in there. All right, somebody get back to what's on the back of that sheet of paper because,
All right, well,
and I apologize because without glasses and better lighting, this is studio lighting, folks.
oh yeah.
I would have never been able to read that.
Well, let me give you an example. And it's one that I usually introduce most people to because a lot of people will easily recognize the smell. Peppermint. Okay.
We use a
Um,
lot of peppermint.
And I call peppermint my gateway drug when it comes to essential oils because it has benefit quite literally from head to toe. Now, as I name all of the different things that that peppermint is beneficial for, just think for a moment all of the over-the-counter stuff that you've purchased or even prescription medications that you may have that could be replaced by a single essential oil. So right off the top of the head, adding a drop to shampoo and conditioner can help stimulate hair follicles, can clean the hair follicles, can provide mental focus and attention because it's stimulating to the brain. You can put a drop on the back of your neck if you're in an environment that's overly warm or during the summer and you need a cooling sensation. It can help ease head tension, or as the FDA won't let us say, headaches. It will, because that's supposedly a clinical term. I don't know. I don't know any child that walks up to their parent and says, "Mom, I'm suffering from a mild case of head tension."
You didn't know my mom.
But then it also helps open your sinuses.
Definitely.
Rubbing a drop on your chest will also activate those little hair follicles on the inside of your lungs that help release phlegm. You can rub a drop on your stomach to help decrease bloating and indigestion.
I'll try that shit.
It can also be used topically as a muscle rub. So if you have occasional muscle soreness, you can use it as a muscle rub. And if you've been on your feet all day, you can put 2 drops in a foot bath and within 10 minutes be ready to get back out and take off again.
I'll give you 2 more. Fleas and ticks do not like peppermint.
Nope.
So you can put a drop or 2 on the
Ants
back
and-
of the neck of your dog.
Ants and spiders too.
Right. We decided that, well, I decided for Pat, really. Yeah, there was no we involved in it. I just kind of, I got rid of all of the chemicalized toothpaste in our house, and we mix coconut oil with, what's that other stuff? You're going to have to help me because my brain just completely just.
Baking
crapped out.
soda?
No, it's turmeric.
Okay.
So you have turmeric and coconut oil, mix that together, and then put some peppermint oil in, and it makes a great toothpaste. The shocker is that the turmeric will make your teeth look bright orange
Yes,
while
it
you're
will.
brushing, but it does rinse off.
You can the turmeric is really good if you've got if your gums are swollen, because turmeric is a natural it's an anti-inflammatory. If you want to use it on regular use, you could use baking soda. If you've got mouth pain, you can add a drop of clove essential oil to that, and it will help cut down on mouth pain.
Right.
Now, one of our listeners just said, "Hell yeah, I'm addicted to peppermint Altoids."
Well, and you know what? That's a perfect lead-in, though.
Yep.
It really is, because when you look at the distribution of essential oils throughout the marketplace, it's estimated that in excess of 80% of what's out there is actually either adulterated or synthesized in some way, shape, or form. Again, because the natural planting process takes time, energy, effort, and lots of money. So when you look at the food industry, that's the second largest industry for essential oils, the first being cosmetics. So you have all of the shampoos, conditioners, soaps, mostly synthesized products, synthetic products in that. The food industry, all your gum, all of your mints, when they are using essential oils, they're using a lesser grade oil because most of your taste comes from smell.
Yep.
So they only need a tiny little drop. We're talking parts per billion in some cases.
Wow.
To activate that smell receptor as you taste something. Anytime you see natural flavor added in an ingredient list, you are seeing an addition of an essential oil. And again, often at least partially synthesized.
Right.
So,
I'm all
see
into
that?
this.
And people are learning stuff. They're commenting in that they're learning stuff. Somebody say something stupid. We don't want people listening to this show. Prefer
Welcome to the world according to Mike.
I prefer that we don't want people learning stuff on this program.
I was shocked
So-
that you invited me for that reason.
Tell me about the probiotics, because I know the probiotics is a really big thing right now.
Yeah, well, the standard American diet is atrocious. Let's face it, we all know that.
Yeah.
There is, when it comes to making lifestyle choices, it's truly a lifestyle choice, and it's a choice that you have to maintain on a daily basis. You can't sorry, Mike, you can't get a Big Mac and a Diet Coke and say you're on a diet.
What? Wait, why? I didn't get fries.
But
then he got a Diet Coke.
He got a Diet Coke.
I'm cutting back.
Which is actually worse than regular Coke.
Yes. Wait a minute. You drink Diet Coke.
Oh, no, I don't. You've never seen me drink a soda. But when it comes to our diet, we're so nutritionally deficient in the food that we're creating and selling and eating that even if you eat organics, if you were to go to a farmer's market and get an organic apple, which is almost impossible to even find, but if you were to get an organic apple, compare that nutritionally to the apples that were sold in the 50s, you have 20% of the nutritional value in that apple, the same organic apple that you would have bought in the 50s.
Well, and a part of that too is because they're growing them larger than what they're supposed to be.
Right.
So the nutritional value is not based on volume; it's based on it's a fixed rate.
Well, and we've also changed the chemical makeup of the soil.
Right.
It's nutritionally void. The other thing that has really been a big impact to the food production is we've gone to a society that has developed what's called a monoculture in farming. It used to be you would have seasons on a farm where they would grow one particular crop for a season. That crop would die off, and they would plant something different in the next season.
Right.
And the dead crops actually helped fertilize the soil. They put nutritional value into the soil, which got grown into the next season's crops. Now, with industrialized farming, we're tearing the farms apart and just continually regrowing the exact same crop.
Right.
So
because we're using chemicalized fertilizers.
And that's what it requires is chemical fertilizers and insecticides in order to do that. So when you ask about the probiotics, a lot of that comes from the fact that we are destroying the food at its cellular source,
Right.
which is then destroying our gut health. A couple of other things, doctors are writing prescriptions for antibiotics constantly. Antibiotics kill all bacteria. It quite literally, by definition, means anti-life, lack of
Even
life.
the good bacteria that you need to have in your body.
Correct. And you need the good bacteria. The cornerstone of your health comes from your gut. And that's why over the last 5 years, you've seen an increase in commercials on probiotic yogurts, probiotic drinks, probiotics being added to breakfast cereals. All of that stuff is now being added because we've spent 5 years, 10 years prior destroying our gut health by killing probiotics with antibiotics. That now you start looking at probiotic formulations that can reinvigorate that. Natural probiotics like kombucha,
Gesundheit.
yes, kefir. Those are both fermented drinks. Natural homemade sauerkraut. You can make sauerkraut in 30 days at home with 2 ingredients: cabbage and salt. And you get
you do need a little bit of vinegar.
No, that's pickling.
And that's what true sauerkraut is, pickled. But you can make kimchi, which is fermented cabbage with just cabbage, water, and salt.
Okay, now we know why Captain Pat's on the show. Just keep moving
There you
right
go.
along, and he will rope you into a rabbit hole.
And we'll get into that. But natural sauerkraut, if you make homemade sauerkraut, you can have more probiotic benefit from 1 tablespoon of homemade sauerkraut than you can from an entire bottle of probiotic supplements that you buy at the store.
Dang, I didn't know that.
And 1 tablespoon a day can restore your gut flora inside of a month.
Now, gut flora again?
That's the beneficial
That's the good bacteria.
All right.
Now, I know that there was a story out quite a while ago.
I'll feel bad drinking a beer in a minute.
Well, it's fermented.
It was a young girl who had been on antibiotics for so long that she had no bacteria in her gut whatsoever. And they actually did and don't take a drink yet, a fecal implant so that she would have
Well, I mean, I've heard of
bacteria
that. Yeah,
in
I mean,
there.
I've heard of that because isn't that introducing a fecal bacteria back into
yes,
the body.
the
Right.
proper
the proper balance.
balance.
Yep.
So basically, she just didn't eat a shit sandwich or nothing like that. I mean, it
No,
was
no,
ventured out.
I'm pretty sure that was gone suppository.
You know, you're still eating the shit sandwich at McDonald's, though, Mike.
Right.
Well, okay, now wait a minute. You said suppository. So basically, if you cram poop back up your butt, it can get into your system.
If you cram it up far enough.
Damn, how far are you putting suppository? And what are you doing after the show? All right. Hey, it's been.
Nothing that you're going to find out about.
Hey, you don't know that. It's because you're a captain. Hey, let's take a break real quick while Captain Pat fact checks that. Yeah,
Oh.
that was hard to say. Captain Pat
Fact.
fact check. It was kind
Even
of like
Hillary couldn't
I
say
was
that.
about to say, you know, and the reason why we were going to break is because our celebrity guest Hillary Clinton is here. The Secret Service guys, we knew they were here. We could smell the pot, and we could hear them giggling about you watcher, no you watcher, no you watcher, no you watcher. So
Somebody's got to land the broomstick 100.
yeah, so she'll be coming in a minute, and we'll have our resident mini Millennium escort her in, so she'll be on camera, and we're gonna ask her some questions. Evan, please stick around. Hillary might have some more questions for you. Hell, you might have some more comments for her. Who knows? The world according to Mike. I'm military Mike, and you're not. So much fun with this. So I got a question now. How do you? And everybody remember we're still live on YouTube.
Yep.
How do you don't really diagnose, right?
Right.
Okay. So,
I recommend that people have their own diagnoses before they come to me, because that's not something that I'm qualified to do. You know, I can look like, you know, you and I have had enough of a relationship where I know I've got solutions that I know could help you.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
And
I've got an immediate solution. I've got like I get these like what would be called a detergent burn, like on my hands. I'm using any type of
Stop picking at your head.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying is I've got these little spots on my head right here
okay.
that I have been irritating because I'm scratching at them. Now remember I used to tear my fingernails off?
Yep.
Okay, I don't do that anymore. Now I scratch my head. And I was wondering if there's an oil or something that I can put. It hurts for one thing. It's like constantly hurting.
Right.
So I need something that kind of numbs the pain as well as.
You don't really need to. The pain is coming from the fact that, well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, the scab is pulling on the hair, so you need to heal. Lavender will help moisturize that and will actually help promote healing. I have a picture on my phone I can show you. I cut my hand in 4 places last year with a chainsaw. It wasn't so bad that my hand was coming off, but in less than 24 hours, you can see the amount of healing done to my hand just by applying lavender essential oil.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the difference is so vast because the body knows what to do
I was
with
about
it.
to say, isn't it really shaping it up so the body
Mm-hmm.
can do what it's supposed to do?
And when you're using, like I use a diffuser in my house every night when I go to bed. Your body's naturally healing at night. That's what it does. When you shut down, it takes over. So by having an essential oils diffuser running in my bedroom at night, first of all, it helped me get off of Ambien.
That's cool.
I don't know if I told you, but I got off of all 5 of my prescription meds this year.
I think I remember reading
Yeah.
that you had.
But so because of using the oils, I get a better night's sleep, which promotes better and more complete healing. And in doing that, you respond better to allergy symptoms. You rebound quicker if and when you do get sick.
Yeah.
Your body's natural healing process takes over, and then your other baseline numbers that the doctors are always checking start to slowly get back in line. The part that sucks is the VA. Fort is so tied in bed with Big Pharma that if you're going to the VA, you are forced and stuck in that I have to use only what they give me scenario. Without,
And-
unless
yeah,
you
and you've got to be careful because if you do use something else, then they turn around and they give you this whole, what? Well, see, now that's what's holding you back.
Yeah.
And, a load of crap is what it is. You about ready?
Right, and what do you want your alcohol?
Nah, I'm good for right now. Thank you.
You're right. There's the way I've been doing it is I do like a little bit of vinegar in there to do as a preservative,
Right.
so it doesn't. I
Now,
don't have to worry about mold and stuff.
You-
but I was just looking it up, and a lot of people recommend sea salt.
that's all you need. I use Himalayan pink salt.
Yeah.
And cabbage. You don't add water, nothing. You literally pound the cabbage for about 15 minutes just to get to release the water. As long as you take the outer leaves of the cabbage and put it into the mason jar, so you press down on the cabbage so the water level rises above that, you get no mold.
It was saying that if you don't have enough water out of it, then make a brine, but you use like filtered non-chlorinated water and sea salt.
Exactly. But usually you'll be able to get enough moisture out of the cabbage itself, and then you could add whatever you want to it. So you can add caraway seeds. You can add. My first one I did, I added red onion and beets, and made it up that way. 30 days on the shelf, ferments that whole time. Then once you're done with it, just put it in the fridge, and you don't need a preservative. It'll last for years. You'll eat it long before you use it.
Not worth it.
Booyah!
You want to go drop a couple of that shit in the toilet?
And that's the other. You could actually do that before you go, and it puts an oil
Put the oil
barrier
layer on
on
top.
top.
Get another drink.
So
Poopery.
yeah, and that's where poopery started. It puts that barrier on top, so it actually traps the odor.
No, no, no. I don't kiss my own husband.
God, he stinks.
Do you have my Facebook page linked on the info?
No.
That's rank. I know. Like, you grew 3 chest hairs just from coming out of there.
So at least that way, if people got questions, they can reach out.
Definitely was not worth going there.
He's passed his manhood test. I'm in a mask and I can smell it.
Everybody loves their own brand.
I should have brought my diffuser in out of the car. I could have plugged it into a USB port and taken care of the whole room.
It's not too late.
Yeah, Hillary's about to show up. There's gonna be a lot of shit floating.
All right.
around.
You're gonna have to walk her in.
No, it's good. I'll just walk in.
Jeremy.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's Hillary Clinton. She can just walk in.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, we weren't just doing songs.
Name that tune.
Ladies and gentlemen, the runner-up for the presidential election for 2016. It brings me great unpleasure. It like a rash, like a case of herpes that just won't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, the second place winner in the men's room, Hillary Clinton. Mrs. Clinton, as I
Thank you for your support.
yeah, I've got more support in my underwear.
Thank you for your support.
All right.
I'm sure your underwear
That's-
has a very
that's
tough
Ain't nobody here
changed that
supporting you.
underwear.
No, it's the same underwear I wore about a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's still there.
I want to go on the record for saying this. The only reason you're here, and why the hell would we call you secretary? I wouldn't chase you around a freaking trash can. All right. So
I wouldn't be caught dead near a trash can. I pay people to take my trash out.
But you're
Probably
already a
do.
trash can.
I can honestly say that I have never been near a trash can at any point in my life.
you know what,
can-
ladies
you
and
can fact check
gentlemen, you
that.
know what I'd say is
We
We can tell when-
I'm on KillaryClinton.com.
Okay.
KKK.
KKK, good.
And,
KKK.com.
That fact is true.
Okay,
She's
good,
never been
good.
near a trash
Captain
can
Pat
in
will
her
be
life.
fact checking us. Hillary, of course, I'm military Mike, and I don't like you. Captain Pat, across from you. That's one of your mini millenniums over there, off your left,
Very
or
pleased to meet- oh, okay. That's okay. That's
and
okay.
then small business owner Evan Summers from Summers Wellness.
Oh wait, wouldn't that mean I'm right in her wheelhouse?
It if I don't know about
I'm gonna
wheel
make sure that your
house as much as
taxes
if you
are
had a
cut.
giant wheel, you could just roll over her. One thing I'd like to point out is that at no time will we be able to know if she's lying because, well, quite frankly, if you're watching on YouTube, her lips aren't moving.
Exactly, and that's why you can tell that I am not going to tell any lies to the American people because obviously my lips will not move at any point.
All right. Well, you'll probably have to move your microphone, ma'am. Now here, let me help.
Is it like this?
Here,
Yep,
let me help. Hold on. Let me help. Here. Okay, that'll be better. No, we can't hear. If
It seems to be
Dino, if
flaccid.
you-
This
yeah,
is like
Dino.
Bill.
yeah, if you could help her out there and fix the equipment. She's been here for 3 seconds. She's already breaking stuff. But
It's not my fault. It's yours.
madam, is it madam? Is
She
it
just can't-
secretary?
she just
Is
can't-
it
She just can't keep it up.
is it runner of the whorehouse? What is the right title that
Oh,
we use for you?
Liar.
Well, now that
Bitch.
that depends on who you'd be talking to. At my house, I like Queen Bitch.
Okay. And now is Chelsea calls you that, or is it just the servants?
Chelsea's not allowed at my house because
Oh, boy.
I caught Bill eyeing her at one point, and it was just time for her to go.
That's just sick beyond compare.
Well, and yeah, yes, but in her defense, she can't help it.
She's ugly.
It doesn't make a difference to Bill.
Is that why he's married to you?
Oh my! Oh, Slambone. Yeah.
We'll get to you in a minute, young man.
Yeah, let me tell you something. You will never have anything good to eat at school if you keep this up.
I do like sitting over here and watching that every time Hillary adjusts her hair, her entire head shifts.
Yeah, well, it's
Well,
there's
you-
only so much they can do in makeup and wardrobe around here.
You do realize that we do have aliens on this planet, and that some of them are reptilian, and they're not to be feared. Everything is fine. We're not going to be at war with them. We're not going to.
Where did this come from?
We're going to vet them completely.
I have no idea, and I'm not finding it on the fact checker here.
Hang on.
Is there something else we
Refresh
should
the
be
screen.
looking at? I mean,
Oh, amazingly, it just popped up on the screen.
Yeah.
It's the true fact.
yeah,
It is Hillary.com, HillaryClinton.com with K's, KKK. That way, it doesn't get confusing for everybody else out there. That I would be the one actually putting in the facts myself, because I wouldn't do that. I would not change reality in order to make it more consumable by the American public. I wouldn't do that.
consumable.
Of course, you
How about digestible?
I wouldn't try to digest it myself. That's just wrong.
Yep, I'm gonna go with yep on that one. Okay, so we have a couple questions from our audience.
Go ahead. I'm willing to tell the truth, the best of my knowledge.
yeah. Boy, that just cut the night short, didn't it?
Well, we should be done shortly.
Yeah, it should be done within minutes, actually. All right. So the first question that I read today was, if you're so upset about Donald Trump not paying any taxes, that means that you support the IRS and their collection tactics. Is that true?
No, not at all. I don't support the IRS when it collects my taxes at all. I do support.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression you didn't have to pay taxes. You're a Clinton.
Well, and that's true. That's true now. I've managed to make sure everything goes my way. But what I do want to do is make sure that the people that I don't like and that I don't trust are paying their fair share of taxes. We're going to do a sleight of hand trick here and here as soon as I get into office, which I will be taking over just as soon as Russia pulls their thumb out of their ass and realizes that I will be president. I've been promised. It is my turn, and if I don't get it, I will throw the biggest temper tantrum that this planet has ever seen.
I'm thinking people will die.
Well, they already have,
Oh, that's good.
but and I had nothing to do with that.
Of course not.
But of course, they were all natural causes. You know, airplanes fall out of the sky every day.
Ironically, you knew every single one of them.
How about I have a
do know
question.
a lot of people, you know, and it's not my fault that people die.
Since you brought that up, I have a question in relation to a natural cause being automatic weapons fire on a former Secret Service agent's car that was called out into the middle of the desert. Any idea? Anyone? Anything? Nothing?
Nope, don't ring a bell.
Yeah.
I remember nothing. You know, I did take a pretty nasty fall, and you know, of course, my brain doesn't work
Was
the way it
that
used to.
under sniper fire?
Yeah.
No,
Is that
well,
before
I
or
don't
after the
recall.
kid gave you?
I have no recollection of that.
Recollection of what?
Anything
What?
anything derogatory.
What are we talking about?
Really? That's a
Exactly.
good question.
Yeah. So, moving right along, Mr. Summers, do you have any questions for the former Secretary of Laziness?
I had a whole list of questions,
And it's
and when I realized that I was going to get a better answer by throwing them in the trash,
gotcha.
I was able to do that, and I was completely satisfied.
Yeah, I can certainly understand that. I could see
Silence
where.
is golden. Silence is golden.
Yeah, it'd probably help with your life too. Is what I'm thinking.
You know, part of that whole holistic lifestyle thing is the recognition of stressors and trying to eliminate those stressors from your existence.
Do you have any anti-Donald stuff over there?
I think the world needs anti-Hillary.
Oh, a little fire back there
Yeah.
from the peanut guy.
Look at that.
I'll up you one, Dino, and I'll say I think the world needs some common sense.
I'll up both of you and go all in with the world needs. Yes, the world needs love, sweet love. Okay, I won't do that
Okay.
no more.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yes. Don't quit your day job.
Oh, so we're gonna get nasty, are we?
No. I'm not nasty. I'm a people person.
a
Everybody
people.
loves me. You know, I'm good for the blacks. I'm good for the Mexicans. I'm good for the Asians. I love them all.
What about the deplorables?
Well, they
And that's not a new movie with Sylvester Stallone in it, by the way.
look, now I do regret calling everyone deplorable. I was angry at Donald, and I meant that more for Donald than anybody else. Although I do have a rather large basket that's ready for anybody who wants to jump on that train.
You do have a large basket, chick. Okay, so let's see. Did Clinton receive approval or assistance from any State Department official in setting up that account or server, or even using it? And of course, we're making reference to your emails.
As a matter of fact, let me ask you a really quick question. Is
Hey! No questions with questions.
is your email server
Not here now.
Yeah, okay? It's okay. So I probably shouldn't have sent that
We
email.
we have Wi-Fi here, and I refuse to give you the password.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just use my phone.
Getting something classified, are we?
No, of course not.
Just out of
It's,
curiosity.
copyrighted. That's what that C's copyrighted.
Copyrighted. Crap, maybe. Here's what I don't understand. I'll be honest with you. Being the Secretary of the State, didn't you anticipate during your whatever? Didn't you anticipate the fact that you are more than likely going to be receiving some form of classified material?
No, of course not. Everybody says I'm an idiot in the office. So why would they send me anything that was anything relevant to my job?
Well, I understand that you and Chelsea basically use the email for wedding plans, yoga pants, which, please God, tell me there are no pictures anywhere of you in yoga pants.
The yoga pants were not for me. They were for Bill.
Yeah,
I don't particularly enjoy yoga. If you look at me, I am not the slightest bit flexible.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that Bill, he was interested in taking yoga, and I wanted to get a really, really, really ugly instructor for him.
I
tried looking for a man.
I don't think that's going to slow
Apparently
him down
are
a
no
bit.
men available.
And I think she would need a yoga pantsuit.
Yes, yeah. Much like
Yes,
the
yes,
one
yes.
Kim Il Jong or wore in North Korea.
I've been compared to a lot of people. The
All at once.
the guy
Yeah.
the guy from the Lorax. What's his name? O'Hare.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Loraxes. Are they from New Hampshire?
I believe so. Maybe Lower Manhattan. I don't know.
All righty then. Who paid for this server, by the way, for the emails? Who paid for it? Who fronted the bill? Because I'm sure this was steep.
I never got a bill.
I forgot a bill.
I don't. Can somebody look that up for me? Did we get a bill for that?
No,
it says
Bill.
right here. It says right here that there was no bill.
There's no bill.
There's
No bill.
And there
No
still isn't, apparently, because he
Bill had
talked bad
nothing to do
about
with this. Bill
Obamacare.
had nothing
Yeah.
to do with any of this. That was my mistake. I've owned up to it. We're moving on.
And so what about your bill?
What about my bill?
Is he still under investigation for sexual harassment?
No. There's no investigation going
Huh?
on. There's nothing. There's nothing to be found. As a matter of fact, I want to call your attention more to Trump and his use of the vulgar words.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He's
I know
very
women that talk dirtier than
derogatory towards women. It's my turn to talk.
that.
He's very
No,
derogatory
your 2
towards
minutes
women.
are up, actually. This is a CNN chick. This is the world according to Mike.
And it's a very small world.
It's a very, hey,
And it seems to be getting smaller. What is that smell?
that would be Captain Pat.
Oh no, never mind. I got it. I got it. It's
Those
good.
pictures will never surface. It was a moment of weakness. So, is it true that you actually had the domain name HillaryClinton.com? I mean, you were receiving emails at HillaryClinton.com.
No, I mean, who wouldn't want their name emblazoned on the internet? It's one of the most prestigious places to be these days. I have Twitter. I have Instagram.
Do you realize that
have
Putin's
YouTube.
grandkid, illegitimate grandkid, hacked your account? That's how easy it was with your open domain there.
Okay, let's talk about Russia. If we're going to go ahead and get into it, we're going to talk about Russia. Russia right now does not want me to be president. You know why?
Because you suck.
Russia is afraid of me. Yes, that's it. They are afraid of me. Come get it. Come
Well,
get
they
it.
saw
I
your
got it.
face, so I would be afraid too.
Yeah. Once again, your lips are not moving. All right, so
Exactly, and you know what the saying has been, that if her lips are moving, she's lying.
Yeah.
And so far her lips
Her
have not
lips
moved,
have
and,
not moved.
and
You can
everything
fact
has been
check that.
fact checked it,
Yeah.
and
and
it's
she doesn't have
true.
lips. Yeah, she doesn't. Kind of like a turtle. All right. My next question. My next question has to do with Aleppo.
Is that a disease?
All right. So we're gonna move right on to how about name one of your favorite foreign policy friends. FPF, I guess.
Foreign policy friends.
Foreign policy friends.
Dead or alive?
Well, preferably alive.
Oh, I don't know any of those.
Come on, a foreign leader, any country, you get to pick
You know,
anything.
I really have to say I admire the Queen of England. She has been around for fucking centuries. This woman.
Now you
will
talk about the
never
position or the
die.
woman.
She has been the queen forever. Like nobody is going to take that crown off of her. Even when she dies, she's
it's-
going to take it with her.
Well,
That's
rumor
the
was it
kind
was
of woman
tattooed
I
under
want to
it.
be. I really admire the fact that she is a strong person in her kingdom, and that she has managed to maintain control of all of those little asshats for as long as she has.
So as long as she's had ass hats.
Yes. Yeah.
So basically what we're doing is we're insulting the only ally we pretty much have left.
Oh, we weren't friends with them, really.
It was just kind of a
It's kind of like that crazy uncle kind of thing. Like we used to be really good friends with them for a while, but then it all got clicky.
clicky. Yeah. Hey, click. That's
we
the
don't
hammer
have
on it.
much to do with them anymore. We decided to go more the Muslim route.
Yeah.
Because they're very
Okay.
nice people when you get to know them.
Yeah,
And as long as you're giving them guns and giving them money,
they
they
seem to
pretty much
behave
just leave you
themselves.
alone.
They're not too bright though. They will eventually turn on you.
Well, I mean, mostly they blow themselves up, but that's okay.
Location.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to say goodbye now so that we can get my co-host back in here.
Oh, that fat girl, don't worry about her. I gave her a cupcake.
It's been a real pressure having you here this evening, Secretary, Madam, whatever.
Or just call me Queen Bee.
Queen Bee of the tribe or nest or whatever.
So I have your vote, correct?
So yeah, I
Yes.
vote that you quit.
Come on. You don't want to die.
No. Ironically enough, I do. So it's going to be easier dealing with death than
Shake my hand or never get on another plane, asshole.
why. Well, there was that whole thing anyway, so I don't think I can fly anymore. So, but
What are you gonna do?
nah.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine with me. I don't care. The elections are pretty much over with anyway. They've already been rigged. I will be the queen of. The president of the United States of America. I've been promised. This has been
Dad,
in the
you wanna move
works
to
for a
Europe?
long time.
Yeah.
So you may as well just go ahead and
I'm
give up
eyeing
Trump,
Norway.
or Johnson, all those others.
Johnson.
Yes. I mean, that little twat doesn't know what he's doing.
Ouch.
Are you kidding me? You can't show up this late to the party and expect to be invited.
Yeah, really. I know.
You're not
You
even
know
at
what?
the front door.
I hate to say it, but I'm almost gonna agree with you on that one.
Yeah. there
A
you go.
vote for
See?
Johnson is
Yay.
a vote for you, Hillary.
Well, in that case, go ahead and vote for Johnson. If it'll take a Trump voter away, I'm good with that. I'll win this election any way I have to. If I have to
I'm
step on people, kill people, rig the
you
election, it's all fair game. It's all fair game.
Well, all righty then. From what I understand, we have another a debate coming up in about 19 days, something like that, 18 days.
I won't be there. I'll be sick.
My personal thing is I told Donald not to show up too, man. I was just like, why would you put him through this? So,
Oh, well, if he doesn't show up, I might go.
yeah, that's the only way you'll win.
Yeah.
All right then.
Well,
Well,
I've got to go and answer some more questions.
Yeah, please get on a plane or something somewhere.
I think they call it the broomstick one.
Broomstick one.
Broomstick one.
Broomstick one.
Well, I have got other engagements, so I will let you guys get back to your.
Dan, dan, da, dan,
little
dan,
basement.
da, dan, da, dan, da,
That's
dan,
a cute old
dan, dan, da, dan, dan, da, dan, da, dan, da, dan. Hey, it's Bill, Jerry, Mike. It's the World According to Mike, and we'll be right back.
That was fun.
I figured I'd end that bit before you passed out inside that thing.
Right? That's what I was waiting for.
I couldn't fucking do it.
My friend sent me a text message. And she's like, "I love that woman."
People are saying how much you sounded.
All you have to do is tell a lie. and
Apparently,
got
all
it
you
on
have to do is
point.
talk through a big fucking plastic mask and say a lot of stupid shit.
That's what we do. Coming up on 8 o'clock, boys and girls. Oh.
Jacob says I'm his hero. So, yay!
Yeah, I ain't saying much. Shut up, Jacob. Let's see. You know, it's Saran's birthday today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, it's Tracy Smith's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Did you know Colonel Fisher?
I
He
brain
was
injury.
148 BSB commander before Colonel Parker.
now that all this crap is updated, I don't even know where any of my stuff is at on Facebook.
I would say let's call Saran, but I don't really think she ever liked it.
Did anybody?
Mel liked me.
Take your head off.
Laura did maybe near the end.
Well, the more covered in pet hair you are,
Yeah.
the more Laura liked you.
What is going on with this cheesy ass
Yeah, cheesy ass.
Cheesy ass.
Hillary was killing it.
Throw 2 of those at Mike.
I need some for my head.
Well, this is
What the hell did I do to my computer? Everything's sideways.
What? Do you control alt arrow key?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably so.
Right. Hold control alt and then do the up arrow key.
What you gonna tell me about these when we go back on there?
I can.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably something you don't want to rub in specific places, right?
Right.
Okay.
But that is carrying, and Mike, I know how you always were with pain everywhere. Exactly.
That respiratory blend that you gave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat, write him a check. I can breathe.
Isn't it amazing? That I had a guy I did a oils class in Marietta Square yesterday, and I'm there every Sunday doing classes on oils. And I had one complaint the guy had right off the bat was that he couldn't breathe. He's been having trouble breathing nonstop. And I did the same thing, gave 1 drop, had him just do that and inhale, and in seconds he could breathe, and it was fine the rest of the whole day.
Yeah, I'll be like using this stuff like hand sanitizer.
Well, these that I'm giving you, that's a muscle rub. Best muscle rub I've ever used.
Spectre night.
So I'll use that back, knees, shoulder.
Feet. I know
Yeah.
how much he loves touching my feet.
And it only takes like the size of a pencil.
You're done today?
Huh?
Have a nice day.
You're
I'm
done.
out.
So did you have fun, Mike?
You don't have Tracy Smith's phone number, do you?
I do not have Tracy's number. I wish I did though.
Frankencasen.
You think CJ or Othello did?
Tracy Bogdan might.
All I have to do is
Was
Was.
Oh, I'm still there.
there's little you wouldn't.
Grounding blend sounds like it would be good for people.
I need something for my head. My head hurts.
Here.
What is it?
Lavender.
And I can just put it on my head?
Yeah, just put a drop on your finger and rub it on the spots that are hurting you.
It hurts like hell. Give me a headache.
What kind of shampoo are you using?
I don't. I use
Dove soap.
Same thing. But it's gotten irritated and I scratch at
Yep.
it. Just turn it upside down.
Well, it's nothing. You can turn it upside down and just tap it on your hand. It's not, the hole in there is going to be too small for it to just flow.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more one just so that I go. 'Cause I got a big boo-boo starting up here.
Not so close. That
There's
stuff's
a-
concentrated.
It is very concentrated.
Wow, Paulette. I don't know if she'd go for you, dude. She's Jewish.
Huh?
Paulette Abdul's Jewish. I don't know if she'd go for it.
Why? Don't say it. I know where you're going with this.
That's great.
That was at noon the day it happened.
All right.
3 hours later.
That is just
From that to that at 7 o'clock that night. And that was next morning. It's pretty impressive with just
Yeah.
lavender.
God, I can't wait to go back and watch this show.
Which one's that? This
Wait,
one?
yeah.
This one.
Woo!
what?
Brendan posted something. He said, "Comment what I would end up getting arrested for," and I said, "Stealing something or getting in a fight." And he said, "Shut up, you cancerous faggot!" But he misspelled faggot, so I corrected him. And then he said, "Shut up, I'm blonde."
You're blonde?
Well, no, Brendan is.
Oh.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it was very
All
random. But he
right.
misspelled faggot, so I thought that was funny.
Okay, well, I mean, thanks for sharing. Son,
Sharing is caring.
I can't, I don't have her phone. Come on! There's got to be a way to get her phone number. Well, let me try to just message her. Tracy called me. I called her. See, I used to have her number. She was going through a lot there for a while.
Yeah.
She was a Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Paula?
Yeah, that's where she started.
And a year after she got on the squad, she became the choreographer. Within the year, she became the choreographer.
That's a lot of smooching up
Yep.
to somebody's pants.
She's only been married twice.
Hey, you knock off that locker room talk. You're not allowed to say those things.
Emilio Estevez from 92 to 94 and Brad Beckerman from 96 to
Tennis
98.
player, right?
Fashion designer.
I was close.
Yeah, they're related fields.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was close
Gay.
to playing tennis.
Now, would you like your alcoholic beverage?
Couple more of these and I'll be able to be all over that.
I'm so glad to be me again.
I know you're dying, sweating.
Well, the head is so flippin' large. It just kind of flops around.
Never had a woman ever say that to me before, so
Oh God.
I'm kind of okay with that. It's National Sports Day in Japan.
Have fun, Japan.
I have 2 listeners in Japan. Can you imagine? Alex and Danielle are live.
Yeah, but she's not wearing a Hillary head.
Yeah. Watch this. We have Hillary. Me. Meaner. Me. Think that'll piss him off?
No, I mean, I'm trying to read what he's explaining there last night. They blew it. Debate analysis, my support or lack thereof of Donald Trump and why I wouldn't vote third party. So, is he voting for Hillary?
He's just Danielle. Look at him smiling. She loves me. I mean, if I put you still love me, he'll get that.
All right, we got to go back in a minute.
I know. Can I flirt with other freaking
No,
host of shows?
no. You have a variable speed.
Yes, I do.
Right now, you're about to see it go full throttle.
Woo! Bring it. Y'all ready to go back to work?
Let's go back to work.
That's earn your keep. What else you want to talk about over there, Evan?
I can talk about what got me into it, what got me started, and what keeps me going with this whole process.
Prison?
Nope, no.
It's not the money.
I'm sure it's a work in progress.
Somebody's going to ask, can these things be used as lube?
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't do that with the peppermint.
All right, boys and girls, we're coming back to the final hour. The final hour of The World According to Mike.
I do regret missing Hillary, but
I mean, we only
I did
have
have
so
to
many
step
chairs.
out. Yeah, well, I mean, somebody had to entertain the Secret Service
Secret
guys.
Service guys. There is one thing that we have to take into consideration this evening. We have Evan Summers here with us. Evan and Jennifer Summers. But
Well, she's
we're,
not here.
We're minus Jennifer. So it'll just be Evan minus Jennifer
Right.
Summers. You had brought up a very good point of these oils. Can you use them as a lube?
No, you're not going to use them as a lube.
None of them.
No.
So
Now,
no
well,
squishy,
okay.
squishy.
Let me amend that statement. There
Okay,
are
good.
actually some recipes that people have used
Okay.
with other oils like coconut oil or other natural oils where they've created concoctions that they will use primarily around anniversaries and Valentine's Day and things like that. I caution greatly against the internal use, especially when you don't have the knowledge and understanding and the respect for the potency and the purity of the oils that you're working with.
Okay. Now the oils that I've got that spot on my head. I've been talking about it and not in my head, but on my head.
I think they're in both spots.
Yeah, no fact checking that, Captain Pet.
You will set your junk on fire.
No, but you gave me a little lavender
Right.
during it, and I can feel something going on up there. Not much, but there's not much to go on up there. No, but obviously you could tell that. I mean, so you gave me that little bitty dispenser thing, and just one little drop, and the floral or whatever you want to say.
Yep.
Was immense.
Well,
in
and
that
the
little
reason
bit.
I gave you lavender is really good for topical application, skin support. The way the oils work is they actually work at the cellular level in the body, and they help the body do what it's designed to do naturally, which is renew itself, heal itself. They don't heal, they don't cure, they don't have a power or an ability to do that. In fact, really nothing does. We're told it does, but what we're trying to do is jumpstart the body's ability to do the job it's designed to do naturally. So when I gave you that drop of lavender helps the body's systems with topical application, and it helps the body renew, cellular renewal, and helps skin support. So
Now-
that itch that you've got on the top of your head will be relieved almost instantly.
Now there are some oils that do have like anti-inflammatory or antimicrobial type properties.
Okay, but what I guess what I'm trying to say too is that I've seen lavender in its natural habitat. I don't. Yeah. Okay. So growing. Is there an oil there, or is it some way processed into? I shouldn't say process, obviously, but
No, process is actually a good term.
okay.
On average, it takes about 1 pound of plant material to create 1 drop of essential oil. That's how concentrated it is. So like a drop of peppermint has the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea.
Holy smokes!
So when I talk to people, because I always get people that ask, can you use these oils internally? Can I put them in water? Can I drink them? Whatever it may be.
Can I soak in it?
I ask people, I kind of respond back and I say, well, would you eat a pound of plant material in exchange for that 1 drop of essential oil? Would you drink 28 cups of peppermint tea? Because that's the equivalency of what you'd be getting.
Now the
With that
food grade
1 drop.
ones that you can get at like Kroger are a lot. They're more watered down.
You
Like,
have
not as potent.
Yeah, there's a list that the FDA provides. It's called the GRAS list. It stands for generally recognized as safe. That's what's in your food grade products. And then again, that's usually when they put that out in that recognized as safe category, they're talking in parts per million.
Right.
So it's all in proper dilution. And because the food industry is inherently cheap, they're going to carry that much further, plus usually use just the basic food grade essential oil just to stimulate a little bit of sense.
That's why they tell you not to do too much with the vanilla.
Really?
That'll knock you out.
Well, I mean, it's you kind of got to think about that. A pound of material for a small drop,
And
but
that's just
the
an average.
dilution-
There are some that are going to be a lot more than that. Rose, jasmine, things like that is going to take
Depending on
more.
how water based the plant itself is.
Right, how much is in the plant material, and what type of material you're getting it from. So essential oils come from the roots, the stems, the leaves, the bark, the fruit. Any part of a plant could be used to get essential oil. So for example, when you open an orange, and you see that burst of liquid that flies off of the orange peel, and you get that exact sensation that you're smelling essential oils.
Yeah.
You are
Right.
quite
Yeah.
literally smelling the essential oil that's trapped in the rind of the orange. When you open up your windows on a spring morning and you're smelling grass or you're smelling flowers in a field, you are smelling the essential oils.
Or your next door neighbor smoking weed.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
Which every once in a while in the morning when we come to the studio, you can smell it outside because the kids are walking to the high school.
Yep.
And they
Oh,
burn
I
one.
gotta start
yeah.
walking around here.
Yeah, they burn one on the way to the high school.
And you're out there asking for your share.
No, I act like a cop and I try to get the whole thing. Give me that stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. I'm sure that as you start to consider the cost involved in manufacturing or processing, I'm sure that conversation comes up a lot when you're talking about people actually purchasing this from you, correct?
Well, yeah, because a lot of when you don't know about them, and
Right.
this is where I started, because I'm such a skeptic, I figured essential oils are essential oils. I mean, what you get from one, you get from another. It really didn't matter. So think of it like gasoline, and you're going to buy gas at a QT station or you're going to buy gas at Shell, you're getting gasoline. It's as far as your car knows, it's the same thing. You don't think about the different detergents and stuff that might be put into that gas.
Right.
With essential oils, consider if you're a wine drinker, consider your favorite vineyard. Just if you drink wine from Napa Valley and somebody here in Georgia decided to bring the grapes from Napa and plant them here in their backyard and cultivate them and then press them for wine,
It's not going to be the same.
it's not going to be the same wine because you don't have the same ecology. You don't have the same soil content, the same weather pattern. Same holds true with the plant material used for essential oils. So when you get lavender from France, not going to be the same as it is the lavender, because lavender grows naturally in the fields wild in France. It's not going to be the same as a transplanted plant grown on the side of the road in Utah.
Right.
With cars driving by and the exhaust poisoning that plant material.
Well, and the soil materials, the soil makeup.
Had to get a
Drastic.
bum mic there, Captain.
I'm so sorry.
He's relaxed.
Dang, that
Yeah, you
that
have-
lavender has been working its way around this
Yeah.
crowd.
Well, that like
Everybody's so mellow.
like kudzu from China. Kudzu doesn't grow like it does in America and China. It's just a small little bitty plant with one or two leaves, but you bring it to America and all of a sudden it overtakes everything.
Exactly. Yeah. The entire process is vastly different. And that's part of what I do when I teach my classes on oils. I try to help people understand that you can go to Walmart and you can buy essential oils for $2.97. And what you're buying, quite honestly, is a bottle of bullshit.
Yeah.
There's really
Bottled
been-
bullshit. I'm good with that.
they've been
What's that smell
tested.
like?
Yeah, well, it smells like the
Presidential
studio
debates.
did.
Hillary
Smells like the studio did earlier.
He's still ragging on Hillary over there.
Yeah.
But when you go in and you buy a bottle of oil, you're getting something that's been synthesized, or it's been adulterated with some other type of oil, or it's not even the right
Diluted
plant
with
material.
everything.
And now here's where the problem comes in. When I have this conversation and we talk about oils and how beneficial they are, I pique your interest and you're thinking, wow, those are awesome, but I don't know enough to dive deep and pay good money for good oils. I don't want to spend a lot of money. But you walk into Bed Bath & Beyond or you walk into Walmart and you find some oil. Now you buy it there. You take it home, you use it. You don't get the kind of benefit that I told you about. I run into you in 3 months. We talk about oils again. Now your conversation back to me is, oh, I tried that stuff. It don't work for me. And now you've tainted your perception for life because what all these people are talking about never worked for you.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the same with a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I think across the board, people they want to get some lavender bath salt
Yep.
because they think it's going to help them relax. They get in a hot bath, they sprinkle some lavender, they get a little, smells good, and the hot water makes them relax.
Right.
So I think you're one, I'm really impressed with your knowledge of it. Because I know this is relatively within the last couple of years.
Yeah,
for you, correct?
yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Two, obviously there is a market for it, because you've started your own business with it.
Absolutely.
Well, when you start thinking about psychotherapy, a lot of that is, we perceive a lot of things based on our senses. Scent being, like you said before, one of the strongest ones that we have. So a lot of veterans relive things based on sounds and scents. And I think that essential oil therapy might actually be something good that they could start moving more towards the sense that calm them
Yes.
instead of the ones. But I do want to say though that you really need to come up with one that smells like bacon and gunpowder.
Oh yeah, well, I've got one that smells like coffee. Not with the company that we actively represent, but I have a coffee one at home.
Bacon and gunpowder. That's where you need to go if you want to get the veterans on board.
Yeah, that narrows it down.
I want to say when you mention this, one of the strongest scents you have, I love the fact that you mention and recognize that, because believe it or not, your sense of smell is the only scent in the body with a direct connection to the brain.
Right.
It does not take a secondary path. You actually smell that you can smell impact long before you feel. You actually smell 3 times faster than you feel pain.
Unless you're having a cold.
Yeah.
Or if you're Donald Trump and talking at the
Yeah, that
debates.
was kind of weird.
But then you have your sense of smell so deeply tied to emotion. And I'm actually, it's, as we mentioned, I'm actually doing a class live in Marietta on Sunday on the power of essential oils in regards to emotions.
Oh, that's why
So-
baby powder and baby lotion are so like the biggest things for women. Like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, this is just, it smells like a baby.
And then think about when you if you go shopping for homes and a realtor takes you and has an open house, they bake cookies.
Yep.
It's a homey, comforting kind of smell. They trigger emotions, they trigger memory. And when you use essential oils to do that, you can completely and drastically change your mood and your point of view and your emotional balance in a matter of 15 seconds.
Well, that explains what attracted Hillary here today. Pat dropped us an apocalyptic scent.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that occurs about a week and a half after the apocalypse. You know what I'm thinking of too is that whenever I was like in the food and beverage type businesses or when I was running the bowling center on a busy night, all the lanes are packed, blah, blah, blah. You go down there to the snack bar and they're not ordering anything. And
Make some popcorn.
make some popcorn,
Absolutely.
turn off the vent, throw a burger on there, throw some bacon on there, turn off the vent just for a second. I remember the manager used to go nuts down there and she'd say, I can't just not have the fan on. And I say, I'll tell you what, I'll stand right here and I'll turn it on and off for you. And we don't have to worry about the fire department. But popcorn especially.
Yep.
Man, you send that smell through. Holy smokes. You let a nice smoky hamburger, kind of a little of that osmosis pass around. So is it the same thing with these as far as let's say like the lavender that I put on my little spots up there on my head? Now you see what I'm saying? They're smelling the lavender.
Mhm. And it
It's
starts
affecting them,
Mhm.
correct? And Dino's over there and he doesn't even know why. He's fallen asleep. He has no friends.
You have virtual friends.
I have friends. So
we used to call those imaginary back in the day.
Now he has Facebook, so
I had Facebook back then too.
To help put it in perspective, anybody that has a dog with separation anxiety,
Uh-oh.
anybody who has a dog who rushes into the bathtub when there's a thunderstorm or there's fireworks, you can diffuse lavender in the house for an hour prior to a thunderstorm or for a few hours before fireworks are going off,
Uh-huh.
or diffuse it during the day when you leave for work. Lavender in the home will help ease the tension and the anxiety in your pet and will completely change the atmosphere and can help calm and relax the animal that's under stress and under anxiety. And the same thing is true for people.
Well, I'm
We
not going
got-
to lie to you now. I got a dog that is so. Hey, that's probably not what I was trying to do.
And we're gonna need to pass that around.
Yeah, buddy. Sorry about that. Everybody's ears. I was gonna just kind of watch this stuff, while I'm sitting here, but unfortunately, the volume was up. My dog goes, apparently has some major issues when I leave. I love my pig. She's my piggy. She's nobody else's piggy. That's
She's my
Pitbull. Very emotional dog. I mean, even the good emotions,
Mhm.
So, I know that my old roommate used to like it when she was whining and stuff. He'd go get my shirt or something off the floor and throw it at her, and she would literally lay on it, and that would calm her down and all. So yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from on this.
Dogs actually smell in stereo. I don't know if
Really?
you knew that, but
They smell through their ears.
they know that, but both of their nostrils can smell independently. Those little slits on the side, they can
Right.
actually smell independently. If you were in a crowded football stadium, full football stadium, your dog could find you without any extra effort.
Oh, I'm sure.
My dogs smell fear.
Well, they can pick up because you are releasing endorphins that they can pick up on. Their sense of smell is that highly evolved.
Right.
So a little bit really goes a long way. Now I've got 5 cats. 2 of my 5 cats will always bury themselves under the couch when there's a thunderstorm or during fireworks. And I will diffuse lavender in the house for them. And they will lay on the couch, sound asleep, unfazed by those loud noises. Completely impacts the house. I'll have a day where I'll wake up and I have no focus, where I'm all over the place, and I don't mean to, of course, but I'll have a day where I just don't really get myself focused on running my business for the first couple of hours, and I will reach for a couple of oils that will help center me, like frankincense. I'll be able to pick that stuff up, put it in my diffuser, and within about 5 or 10 minutes, I'm back to focused and grounded and able to get through the job that I need to do for the day.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been dabbling
That's
with the essential oils. There's been a few that I really enjoy. Now we have the wax warmers, of course, in the rooms because we do have 6 dogs and 3 cats. So we're heavily populated on the weird sense. He's a very brave man going into that room. Oh my God! As a matter, just send me over whatever you got. Oh my God, that has not left. Are you?
No.
Oh my God. If you're listening, God, be so glad you are not in the studio. Oh my God. We're going to have to repaint that bathroom. How much for the bottle? Just how much for the bottle?
There's a napkin here.
Okay, like chloroform. Just hand it over.
I'm adding a few things. I'm adding wild orange and lime to this napkin.
Oh my God.
Anything is better than that.
I'll
this
I'll
point.
smell your sock. Just hand it over.
There you go. That should help lessen the impact of the open bathroom door.
Oh my gosh. What? Okay. Now what's all in the, I smell the lemon.
That's lime and wild orange is what I used for that.
That smells awesome. Now I wish you guys could smell this.
It's
Oh,
when I talk to when I tell people about the oils and how they
you're
work.
gonna need that in a second. You're gonna no hold it to your face. Trust me. Hold it to your oh my,
This really is bathroom humor at its finest.
this is, I now am a firm believer in 2 things on this planet: essential oils and my gas mask.
Hearing is hearing.
I think that probably
Here, here. Just-
You're not supposed to put it in your eye.
He said-
What is that?
oh,
Which one is that?
That's wild orange and lime. Is what I put
that
on
is
there.
anti-ass. That's what that is.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is fantastic.
I-
Now, what is that? What is that?
I was about to say, yeah. What does that?
Citrus oils tend to be uplifting, energizing. They can help calm a racing mind while at the same time giving you some focus. So citrus oils in general are really great to start the day, to get started in the morning.
That's why housewives use them to clean the house.
Yep, and that's why you usually see
Really?
that in there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The smell of grapefruit.
You do it so well, you work.
So, grapefruit actually just smelling grapefruit actually jumpstarts your metabolism.
I'll sniff that stuff, but I won't eat it.
I love grapefruit. Man,
Ooh,
grapefruit's the bomb, man.
I can't eat it.
Yeah, I probably rubbed that a little bit too much into my eyes and nose, but
It'll pass in about a minute and a half or so.
so yeah.
Peppermint lingers a little bit longer and will
Yeah.
cause more tearing.
Now,
Now I did make the notification though that he managed to place it perfectly where it would be great for chloroform use. So we
Does
may
this
want to
smell like
watch this guy.
chloroform?
I thought you were talking about me, and it's just tough to get around those middle schools. It's hard to find a target at 500 feet, but I do my best. Hey, I tell you what, it's about 8:30 here. Let's go to another commercial break. When we come back, I'd like for you to tell me about this deep blue rub that you gave me here,
You got it.
and we'll figure out how that all works. It's the world according to Mike. I'm wearing his underwear, and you're not.
I hope so. Jesus Christ. I don't know what you ate, but you are never getting it again.
I don't know what it was, but I don't know if it was
It's not
the
living
food that they've
now.
been
Oh, I
they've
think
been
it is.
feeding us on the damn deployment.
Oh,
They
that's
cooked
right.
us
You
a
did
couple
have
meals.
MREs.
Yeah, I've been gone for the past 2 days.
Dude, you're making me miss a documentary on meatloaf.
Damn it.
Documentary on meatloaf.
The singer, not the food. Maybe I should have said Michael a day.
See, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
you definitely would have got that.
Who's that?
Wow.
So I can tell you, especially with both of you guys being medical, military related, one of the biggest issues, and you mentioned it with PTSD and a lot of the anxiety that these guys feel, is the lack of sleep. That's one of the biggest. If you can't get that, and Mike and I used to talk about this more off. Oh shit, he had an hour and a half drive to work every day, or more. But lack of sleep, lack of quality sleep. Forget the drug-induced sleep.
Right.
Causes so many problems in general.
And the drug-induced sleep, just so everybody understands, and we all suffer. We're, I'm on the antidepressant, we all, okay? But when you take, let's say, like, they want me to take Seroquel to help me sleep,
Mm-hmm.
it'll help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take 10 milligrams of Seroquel right now, and I'll wake up Wednesday.
Right. But it's not only that. What's happening is your body will shut down. You will physically fall asleep. There's actually a challenge a few years ago called the Ambien Challenge, where you take an Ambien and then you drive home and you basically race that 20 minutes to see whether you make it home before you fall asleep.
Not a challenge I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
I thought jumping out of planes was scary.
But
Oh, shit.
what happens is you are induced into a sleeping state. But the reason you hear all of those Ambien related issues with sleep driving, sleep eating, and all of that stuff is you're not getting rest. So the body may be asleep, but the mind is not being given the opportunity to do what it needs to
Right,
do.
the mind needs to do it. Shut down.
Right. So you may sleep, but you're not resting. So because you're not resting, the mind is still in active processing mode. So it can actually lift you up and make you do things.
Right. That explains a lot of the episodes I had on Ambien.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, I've heard of that too.
yeah, and that's what happens because you're not really getting rest. When you fall asleep, when you actually hit REM sleep, your body goes into a paralytic state. So you are physically paralyzed during sleep. Ambien blocks that because your body doesn't go into a restful and restorative mode. which is why you can still get up and sleepwalk and do all that other
on
funky stuff.
Ambien, I could sleep a solid 18 hours and still get up exhausted.
And that's what happened to me. I used to wait, and now I never slept that long. I would still sleep through a normal period. But when I woke up, I was about 3 to 4 hours before I broke the head fog. And that was every day that I took Ambien. And I even started splitting the Ambien in half. I would take a 5 milligram pill, and I would cut that in half, because my issue is I can't turn this off at night. I spend my night laying in bed strategizing and figuring out what I'm going to do with the business and who I'm going to talk to and who I need to follow up with tomorrow. And so I would take that Ambien just to fall asleep. But then I paid the price with 3 to 4 hours of restlessness the next morning where I couldn't break the fog.
Right. Yeah, I had a lot of those issues.
I know a lot of people that take Klonopin too to go to sleep.
My dad used to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brutal.
Yeah. Now I use a diffuser over my bed every night, and I was using a combination of lavender, cedarwood, and vetiver.
Now the diffuser, that's the
It's a
sticks.
cold. A diffuser is. People look at it and they ask if it's a humidifier. It's putting out a cold mist. There's an ultrasonic disc inside that vibrates. It breaks the water up into microscopic particles, and that grabs particles of oil and disperses it into the air around you. And I have one that'll run all night long. So I'm getting that cellular benefit while I'm sleeping, getting the ability to get better sleep.
Am I the only person hearing that? Well, yeah, because I'm the only one wearing headphones. That's fine. I got it. I'm okay.
Well, let's go back on the air so we can hear what
Talk
you're
about it.
talking about.
It's gone now.
You're probably going to have to explain diffuser.
I will. I can.
And then
do
the
that.
deep rub.
Usually this is when we have lost just all of our listeners, because by this time other stuff's coming on.
They've given up.
Yeah. So we got to get the fun stuff out of the way in
All
the
right.
beginning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're talking about a diffuser. And I'm not talking about the guy who jumps in the middle of a fight. Get it? The hell
I
was
got
that?
it. I don't know.
The only reason we went back live is because you said you were hearing stuff. And you
I
were the-
was, and then I didn't hear it anymore.
It's
and now you
scary
hear it.
that even during the breaks you wear your headphones.
Too
not
lazy
taking them
to
home.
take them off.
I got you, man. I'm there for you. Evan, two things if we could, and then we'll probably be calling it tonight. But I need you to just, if you would, go over the means, because I don't know if putting a couple drops on your finger and putting it on your bumps of your head is the actual application.
Right.
So if you could go over a couple of different means of application.
Absolutely. 3 primary ways to use essential oils. You'll hear about that whenever you look up how to use essential oils. First and foremost is aromatically. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do that. One, I mentioned a essential oils diffuser. A diffuser puts out a cold mist into the room. There's different types of diffusers. The one that I recommend and that I usually refer to is a water-based diffuser. There's a ceramic disc on the inside of the unit, pulverizes the water into microscopic particles that then exit the unit. Looks like steam, and that's what picks up particles of the essential oil.
Okay.
And can be used as an air freshener. It also changes the entire aura of the room, so to speak, because if you're diffusing lavender, you're getting all of that benefit from the lavender. Go ahead.
My daughter has a diffuser, and it spins the water around.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, Dino?
Yeah,
By the television.
Yeah, because I used to have to clean it.
Yeah. Okay. So what's going on there? Because that one doesn't really. I understand the cold. Okay, I understand it being water based. Kind of lost me a little bit there, but then I kind of figured that the water molecule, the water whatever, picks up a little of oil and.
I'm looking right now online at shopping, and there are tons of different ways. A lot of different, anywhere from $20 up to like $80.
I'm an
Okay.
idiot.
Right.
I'm an idiot.
It's Tech Mike.
Yeah, I was watching how to make Cookie Monster fudge.
It's so nice that the host of the show is engaged in the conversation.
We all know he has ADD.
I know.
I do not. I have
So,
attention
now-
deficit disorder.
So
Attention dyslexia order.
yeah,
I'm
do
sorry,
you
what were we
actually
talking about?
put the oils in the water, or is there a separate plate that it passes by and picks it up?
It's a great question. It goes in the water itself.
Okay.
Now, what you may be referring to, Mike, you may be talking about a humidifier or dehumidifier, which is what a lot of people ask about when
Well,
it
like-
comes to the oils.
Like the
I don't
rainbow,
think so.
Okay.
where you can put the oil in the water
Mhm.
and basically it just has like a paddle that spins it around and
okay.
then diffuses the.
Yeah, that's just pulling that. What
And
that's
it's,
doing
and
is
it's pulling air through the water as it's spinning the
Exactly.
water
Yeah.
around. So
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
a rainbow because they have a rainbow.
what you're getting
Yeah,
is you're getting
of
the
those.
oil naturally escaping into the air because
Mhm.
essential oils are at their heart aromatic compounds.
Yeah.
So you're getting the oils that are escaping into the air, and by agitating the water like that, it's just basically giving it an exhaust port. Is what
Right.
that's
Okay.
doing.
All righty.
The other aromatic process, and I carry them with me at all times, are inhalers.
Oh, I have one of those myself.
So, they come in pieces and you just add the essential oils to the little cotton wick inside. And that way, when you don't have access to a diffuser, or like, for example, school kids can't necessarily have a diffuser in a classroom because everybody's so afraid of allergens. If they have something in an inhaler format, kids that have attention issues, kids that have anxiety, just need better
Kids with
focus,
autism.
can use essential oils to help them with their focus in school.
My 6th grade teacher had a Mandarin orange diffuser,
Mhm.
and she just said it helped so much, and she just always had it on.
There are studies that have been done. Actually, kids have done science fair projects where they have diffused essential oils in different classrooms and used different essential oils and done science fair studies that have shown that test scores and attendance and attention have all been on the increase with the use of essential oils in class, and negative behaviors like acting up in class and kids that would get in trouble and get kicked out of classes are on the decrease with the use of oils in class.
I can see it happening. I'm gonna end up investing.
No, and that's what I'll be here for. Mike, you asked about topical use, so that's a second way of using
Okay.
your oils.
Right.
Most essential oils, and I say most, can be used topically right out of the bottle directly on your skin. There are oils that are considered hot oils, so cinnamon, oregano, cassia, wintergreen. Those have a higher tendency to give people a skin reaction. And when I said most, it's because you never know, everything's individualized. So I don't know what somebody's individual skin issues might be.
Right.
So I always personally recommend a safe dilution for their essential oils in order to use them. First of all, you stretch the use.
And it kind of builds up maybe.
And you don't get the skin irritation that you might get by using them right out of the bottle. The other big advantage to using them, and we call it dilution, but there's really not a better term for it. We're so used to dilution, meaning that we're lessening the impact, lessening the effect. When you dilute essential oils, you're actually enhancing their benefit. You make the oil molecules bigger. Takes a little bit more time for it to get absorbed into the skin. So you're stretching out the length of time that you get benefit out of the oil as opposed to having it so quickly dissipate into the air. And then the last way is internally. So we talked briefly about that earlier. I always get people that ask me if they can take oils internally. And I don't recommend it, mostly because until you have somebody who can coach you through the use of essential oils in that format, whether it's a clinical aromatherapist, at least a certified aromatherapist, somebody who can help you understand the potency of what you're using, you could actually do more harm than good. You can create a liver toxicity. You can hurt the mucous membranes of your mouth and your throat and your esophagus. So it's really not worth the danger when you have so many other more beneficial ways of utilizing essential oils.
Right. Right.
So, now do you coach people on the uses
Every day?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
When I get people who sign up and get oils from me, they're not just buying product.
okay.
It frustrates me. and I'm in, it's, you know, part of an industry that is kind of mired in secrecy. And at the same time, you know, you've got people that are trying to earn a living, but they don't always necessarily have the best interest of other people at heart.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you were to buy a kit of 10 essential oils, you'd know how to use lavender. You might know how to use peppermint, and you've heard of frankincense, right? But 7 of those oils are going to sit in a drawer because nobody's ever told you how to use them.
Yeah.
And how to use them safely and consistently. And that's what I do. That's what my wife and I both do, is we've dedicated ourselves not just to being in the business for the sake of making money. We really don't even look at the income potential. What we do instead is we coach people on their health. The money will come because we trust in the fact that our message is pure. Our methodology is pure.
Mm-hmm.
What drives me in this business, I started to mention this earlier. My dad lived every single day in chronic pain, which is why I hate you so much, Mike, because you remind me of him with what I know about you.
Take that.
Every day in chronic pain. He became manic depressive. I watched him go from a happy, jovial, fun-loving guy to a guy that wished he could kill himself every day to take him out of the world's misery.
Right.
And I didn't get introduced to essential oils until years after his death.
Right.
Had I known about this when he was still alive, I am 100% sure I could have made an impact in his life that would have at least given him some relief in his waning years.
Sure.
And that's what drives me. Every time I give somebody a bottle of Breathe and I watch their sinuses open up and they look at me with astonishment, I thank my dad.
Yeah, good point. I know that I'm just a hard case, you know.
Oh, and most guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, this is that sweet smelling stuff that women like. Guys don't, you know.
Yeah, that's not it so much as I've got something that basically reduces my pain by a percentage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me to trust this, I would have to probably stop taking that for a period of time.
Not necessarily. I
It'd
would
be
ask
very
you.
hard to gauge if it was working.
It would be, but you could always. And again, it's a commitment.
Right.
It's not an overnight situation. Your
sure.
body gets the more you use oils, the more your body gets used to the fact that you're going a more natural route,
Mm-hmm.
and the more your body works for you. I refer to hand sanitizer in this conversation. The more we pump hand sanitizer into our children and even ourselves, the more frequently you use the hand sanitizer, the less your body needs to sanitize itself, and therefore it shuts off its ability to do so.
Right.
So when you have a condition where your body is basically shutting down pain receptors, as you start to reawaken those pain receptors and you start to use something that's more natural, you may realize that the medications that you're taking can get weaned off of. You might find yourself more hypersensitive for a little bit, but you
Right.
might also see other benefit that can come around in the short term and then the long term.
Right. Well, I tell you what, I know, and I respect 100% variable speeds. You know, not only her smarts as it comes to medical stuff, but also if it truthfully is helping on our other part, our mental health issues. And I guess she's interested in trying some of the products, and I'll keep in touch, obviously, with her because, well, quite frankly, even if I don't do the show, she shows up. So it's just, and I've tried that twice. And so that's, you know, I'll keep in touch with her. And I'm being honest, and a lot of people don't understand this, but like with the plantar fasciitis, that the pain, and my son is sitting right there, he can tell you that sometimes the pain in my feet is so excruciating that I am literally just so close to holding back tears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with everybody that there are times I do cry because it is, look,
It's excruciating.
let me explain something to you, man. I've jumped out of planes. I've had numerous family members die. I've just about anything you can think of, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, happened to me. So as far as me weeping like a baby just for the hell of it, it's probably not going to happen. There's something that's causing it. And let me tell you something, the pain that I feel in my legs, and you see, I know it's not just me, because now my oldest child is 26 and she is dealing with excruciating pain in her legs and feet. My oldest son is 19, right? And Max, and he is dealing with excruciating pain in his legs and feet. And Dino is 13 and it's starting to affect his ankles and stuff. And it's, you add that to the RA, which is one of the most unusual things you've ever had to deal with in your life, is to have an incredible grip. I mean, I'm big as a damn horse, for God's sakes, and I'm strong as an ox. But to reach over sometimes to pick up my phone and to move quickly and watch my phone go flying out of my hands, because I can't clasp my hands together anymore.
So I would ask you this, and this is my challenge. If you've been doing what you've been doing
right
for as long as you have,
right,
and all you keep seeing is a downward slide of getting worse,
right,
what's the downside to trying something different?
Oh, yeah.
And
it's not something that I'm afraid of or anything else like that. It's just I have truthfully always believed that I would have to give up on what I'm currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, man, there's old Dino will tell you over there. There's some days I don't even get out of bed.
Yep. And I went through it.
Yeah. I mean, there's
like I mentioned to you before, I had a goal at the beginning of this year. Because my wife and I changed our eating habits, we started going organic. We paid very close attention to the kinds of foods we were eating. She taught me what to look for on ingredient lists.
Right.
I have been heavy my entire life. My body will reach a level of weight that it will just take forever to shed. But numbers-wise, health-wise, I've been able to get off of every single prescription medication I was on. There were 5 of them. The goal was to be off of them by the end of this year. I got off of them the first week of September. Blood pressure pill was the last one I was freed from. We take no over-the-counter medication. So if I wake up with the sniffles, if I wake up with a runny nose, I know I have a breathe blend that I can utilize, and in about 15 seconds, I can knock that out. On a day when I have a headache, I have given people the protocol of a drop of lavender on a warm washcloth and a drop of peppermint on a cold washcloth, one on the forehead and one on the back of the neck. And within 3 minutes, the headache is gone. And
Cool.
I have not had a single person, and I've not had a single person that I've given that protocol to that has not come back to me with a message saying that is the only thing that's ever knocked out my headache that fast.
That's cool. I know a lot of people that have, basically migraine type headaches,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I just got out of the hospital with one.
So you wanted to know about Deep Blue.
I did. You gave me, and I imagine these are samples. Correct?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They are, it is a muscle rub. It includes peppermint and wintergreen. There's a bunch of different oils in there, including camphor. It does not have a medicine-y smell. It actually starts off a little typical because you're smelling the eucalyptus and the camphor. It's deep penetrating, and then it kind of becomes a little floral in scent as it dissipates. You don't get that greasy feeling that you get with other muscle rubs. Here's the kicker. After having knee surgery, shoulder surgery, I was on BioFreeze almost every day.
Oh, yeah.
And we all are. Like, we all know BioFreeze.
Yep.
I gave up BioFreeze the first day I started using this Deep Blue rub.
Oh, cool.
I have had issues where I had a double meniscus tear on my knee.
Gesundheit.
Walking through Target, my knee would give out. Like, I would literally crumble to the ground and not know why. The last time I had a knee issue where I felt like something wasn't right, I put a little tiny drop of that Deep Blue rub on my knee. Within a half hour, there was no pain. There was no concern at all. Later that night, I didn't even remember that I had knee issues earlier in the day. It was quite literally that effective.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what, we're getting close to the end of the show. If you would, real quick, just go over your contact information.
Absolutely.
I did post your Facebook page with us
Thank you.
this evening.
I have a Facebook page called Summers Wellness. I do live streaming on essential oils education 5 to 6 days a week, both on Facebook Live, on my personal page, which is Evan Summers, and I always share that onto the Summers Wellness page as well. I'm also on Periscope under Summers Wellness. I dual stream on Facebook and Periscope simultaneously. I do weekly essential oils classes every Sunday at 2 p.m. at Local Exchange in Marietta Square. This week we're focused on emotions. Every week we try to do a different topic. And then we also do a live class every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Via webinar. And the link for that is always on the Summers Wellness page on Facebook as well.
Very cool.
So you can always reach out to me there. Questions, comments. Like I said, I do not like to try to help people with specific medical issues or try to determine what someone's medical issues are. But if you already have a handle on what might be troubling you and you're looking for some relief, I am more than happy to help talk you through protocols.
How about that?
Damn it, Jim, I am not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
The FDA won't let me be one. I have the handwriting of one.
There you go. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah, that's the biggest step right there, actually.
Dino, we don't care what your thoughts are for this evening, so I'm bringing it over to Captain Pat.
I think he's left enough thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, fact check that.
I might actually have to leave another thought before we leave.
Oh,
no.
my God, we're going now. All right, variable speed. How about you, girlie?
I'm walking home, apparently.
Yeah, Evan, it was good to see you.
Thank
again,
you,
buddy.
sir.
We
Thank you,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
I really appreciate it.
Really good to meet you.
Very informative, but a lot more informative than I thought we were going to have material to cover. But yeah, did a great job spreading it out. You're very knowledgeable about it. I got to tell you that anything these days, I take so much medication that it is just, when you turnkey or whatever, it's just wake up, take my pills. Hell, my kids know what pills to get me and when to get them for me.
Seems like a bigger amount every single time.
Yeah.
And that's really, if I could get you off of one, just one, if I could help you eliminate one pill from that regimen,
right,
then that's an overwhelming success.
Well, the one I'm thinking of is obviously the gabapentin, where I'm currently taking 900 milligrams 3 times a day, if not more. So that's a tremendous amount. I would like to stay with the Zoloft because messing with that could possibly get someone killed. And I do carry quite a bit of ammo. So
as we saw with my 2-week hiatus from my meds, that's one that you just can't drop.
That's a dangerous one.
Yeah,
and I'd prefer not to be listed on any, printed out list at the post office. So we'll definitely keep in touch. We'll try to work this through, and we'll see if variable speed over here will keep us updated on how things are going. And I know that she has more than one pain in the ass to have to deal with.
Everybody looks at Pat.
Yep.
I don't have to come. If you don't want me to come, you don't have to insult me. Just say,
I prefer when you
don't
just
need to
breathe
be here.
hard. But all right. So anybody got anything else? Let's
No, I'm done.
let's all call this a night and go home and do whatever it is we do home by ourselves. Okay, never mind. Hey, it's the World According to Mike. Tomorrow night is the Angry American.
Angrier than me.
Yep, Highway Jack will be discussing probably legitimately the debate. He's asked me to come by and try to moderate, and I just can't see me doing that seriously. Wednesday night is the Guru, the Rough Edge. It's a remote. What do they call that?
It's out of
Transmission.
Out of a slut.
It's out of a slut. Yeah.
I mean Tulsa. Sorry,
Tulsa.
that dyslexia.
I was looking at it
kicks right in.
backwards. Yeah.
it's
a remote. A remote. What do they call that? It's a live remote. That's it. Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, with Jacob, the Guru music. Thursday nights, Ladies Talk with DJ Smiles. Hey, Friday nights, we're doing a couple different things. About 2 weeks ago, we had an 80s night with Lou Gazzo. And I know he's working on some other stuff. I believe I'm slotted to come over here for one Friday night and do a ridiculous, stupid, where his was actually legitimate and actually talked about the music and more of a Casey Kasem's because he's a smart guy. I was going to come over here and basically act like an idiot because
and that's different. How?
and I've got that down. I'm doing pretty well with that.
Yeah, nothing would be changed.
Nothing. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell anything. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Hey, you always listening in the mornings from 7:30 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday for DJ Scotty and generally what he refers to as Redneck Stephanie and you idiot, which would be me. Military Mike, once again, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. Go home and don't do anything that I would. And if you do and you get caught, don't use my name. It's the world according to Mike with Military Mike. Say goodbye on video.
Goodbye on video.
There we go.